Welcome to the chop shop, baby, where we chop at the shop. Not playing. Alright. Been rereading Meditations. Really love the book. I just wanted to review some things, 5 quotes or so that I saw over myself and how I feel about them. 02 is my shout. Hey. Alright, here we go. So, quote number 1. Very simple. If you don't know what meditation is, this is straight gas pack. This is the copy you should probably get by Marcus Aurelius. It's literally just a compilation of his thoughts. They were never meant to be released. If you don't know who Marcus Aurelius is, he was a Roman emperor. He was a man who could have had anything he fucking wanted at all, and like anything. Like, I believe they say that as a Roman emperor, sin is like, they go hand in hand. But he chose to live a good life, a hard-working life, a very inspirational life. He's one of the, I believe he is known as the father of Stoicism. I don't know. But here are some quotes. I'm going to start with the first one. Bow. Leave other people's mistakes where they lie. This one's huge to me. So to break down how I read it, you shouldn't. So, what you shouldn't obsess over other people's mistakes as it doesn't help you or the relationship you have with the person. What I mean by this is simply that I know that lost word in the back. I know that sometimes people make mistakes that like you can't get past, and if you can't get past it, that's fine. You might have to cut them out, but you do not want to sit there and let them take up space in your 36 core processor up here. There's so many more productive, beneficial, just healthy thoughts that you can have. You don't want to start a negative feedback loop of obsessing over other people's mistakes. It does not benefit you. It is not good for you. So, next. I think these are 2. But they're the same. Alright. Remember 2 things. That everything is always the same. Doesn't matter how long it takes for it to occur. And the longest lived and those who die the soonest lose the same thing. What I got from this is very simple to me. The world's always repeating, and you are not special. This is how I take this, and it's in my head. I guess I focus the camera lens like this. Everything that you think, like, there's always going to be something happening to you. It's all the same. Every human experiences it as well. It doesn't matter how long it takes to occur. So something could be happening to you now that'll happen to somebody 20 years in the future. It doesn't. You have to understand this, and if you can understand this, you can cope with it much better, and you can assimilate it, and I guess break it down and not let it bother you so much. It's just history repeating. And then the longest lived and the shortest lived lose the same thing. You want to know what they lose? Bada boom, bada bing. Come here. Take this off. None. Damn. They lose the present, dog. That's what they lose. Doesn't matter how long you live or how short you live. In that moment, you lose the present. You're done for. So live to the fullest, because we're all living in this. You need to live in the same moment, the fucking present. The only thing you can affect, the now. My next one was to devote yourself completely to achieving the goodness that is uniquely yours. It would be wrong for anything to stand between you and achieving goodness. How I interpret this is, you first off, happiness comes from within, but on top of that, you won't find it if you're not finding something to give your all to. Humans need purpose, but if there is no purpose in this world and everything's repeating, you have to find your own unique purpose. It's yours. I believe there's what book was it? I think it was The 4-Hour Workweek, where they were talking about this Japanese general who got stuck. Let me see, is that the 4-Hour Wiki? Japanese general. The 4-Hour Workweek's the last thing I read. Also, I spelled Japanese wrong. Anyway, there was this Japanese general during the bombings of like Japan and everything. Big bombs, World War II, I think, or was it World War I? Don't fuck with me. I just started studying. I know I need to study history, but I'm learning. It's World War II. Okay, cool. Which is, I haven't studied World War One yet, so I should have known this, but it's all good. There's these bombings, and after everything got bombed and the war was over, they had these Japanese generals hiding in the forest, and they were given instructions: fight to the death. And this man stayed for 30 years after the war was over, fighting to the death in the like jungle, living off bugs and shit. And he did that because he found a sense of purpose bigger than him, his own country. It was literally, he came back to Japan. The camera's up here. He came back to Japan, and dog was upset because they were different. They were no longer the country that he was fighting for. He got super depressed. But while he was in the jungle for 30 years, he was perfectly fucking fine. Shit's insane to me. Can I shrink this? Yeah, cool. Shit's insane to me. But like, if you have a purpose, you can go through a lot of shit, big dogs. A lot of shit. Alright. And it would be wrong for anything that... No one can stop you from finding the goodness that's uniquely yours unless you let them. Your 36-core processor belongs to you and only you. Why am I looking at... I need to look at the camera. The 36-core processor belongs to you and only you. Alright. You... Oh, that's crazy. You are in charge of... Next. Oops. That things have no hold on my soul. It actually stands unmoving outside of it. Disturbance come only from within our own perceptions. There's another one, like, and how I see this, so simple. Excuse my typing, the keyboard's messing up. Kind of sad because this is my favorite custom keyboard I have. Probably gonna have to make another one. RIP my fucking holy pandas. Anyway, no offense means no offense unless you take offense. It's simple. Nobody can like disturb your being unless your mind has decided that your being is disturbed. You have to learn to understand this, and it's okay to feel some type of way, but it's about practicing catching on to it and knowing that you're letting someone disturb your being. They're not disturbing your being. You allowed it. So be more conscious about what you allow. Next is, lastly, to finish off, everything you see will soon alter and cease to exist. Think of how many changes you've already seen. I think about this in my life. It's like childhood, boyhood, prepubescent bullshit, teenage years, adulthood. Literally, those are past lives of yours that died. And it was okay. It wasn't that bad. Everything changes and everything ceases to exist. You can't blame yourself or blame others that... You can't blame others or yourself for change. That's what this world is centered around. You just have to accept it, understand it, and live with it as to not, I guess, obsess over it. It's like, how I see this, it's like, you can think of a girlfriend or something. The person, if you've been together with a girl for 5 years, the person you met is not the person you have now. Does not mean you don't love both of them. You love the person you met, you love the person you have now. But they are not the same, and that's okay, because things change. Alright. And that concludes these quotes. I think I'm going to do more of these because it's super fun to talk about and just share. And it's something I'm very passionate about. But I appreciate the people for showing up. Later.